Mentorship is important at any stage of life, but none more so than at the beginning of adulthood. For the youth of Cambridge, mentors are a vital resource providing guidance, emotional support, and role modeling. Audible and the Loop Lab have collaborated on a series exploring how the City of Cambridge allocates resources. We spoke to mentors and mentees from local organizations Enroot and Next Step to discuss their missions, as well as the role which mentorship plays in the Cambridge community and the importance of having a mentor when looking to the future.
A mentor to me is someone that will be there and support their mentee whenever they need it in whatever way.
At first, I thought that a mentor would be like a person who will like be a teacher and like just give me advice and what I needed. But then when I got to meet Kevin and like really know him personally, I understood that it was more than just that. It was like, it's basically like having a friend.
To me, my mentor is like my best friend and my guide, and she always guide me to right pathway, and I always trust her, and I feel like she's the only one I can like trust after my family.
Mentors have a pivotal role in providing students with structure and support, and at times mentors also provide a sense of security and a safety blanket for students.
Sometimes you can't always go to your parents or your friends, and someone being there for you to just create a safe space and have conversation with is really important. And so for me, it's that person you can go to.
A mentor for me is like an adult or any person with like life experience that enters your life and basically tries to help you in any way they can in like your journey in life, whether that's like taking the same type of path as them or like, you know, something completely different. Mentors are important because there's many different types of ways of like getting to where you want to be at life, you know, like sometimes having that person with the experience is like, it's important.
In life, you're going to come across a lot of different problems, and a lot of the times you're not going to know how to navigate through them, and it helps to have someone that has been through them before and understands what's going on in your life.
So Next Step is one of the City of Cambridge's Office of Workforce Development programs. It serves young adults 18 to 24 years old who graduated high school and are just still trying to figure out what the right next step is for them. So we do career exploration and skill building, paid internships, so everybody gets to walk out with like a hopefully positive work experience, hopefully a reference, and then also one-on-one coaching.
So Enroot has existed in different iterations for several years. We actually were founded in 1938, and we were known as the Cambridge Community Federation, and then we were known as CCS, and then CityLinks. We became Enroot several years ago, and really there's a need, right, for youth to be supported. And so for us, we were here to make sure that those young people who are in high school or in college have a program such as Enroot, where you can have someone who's your friend, who in the form of a mentor, and you can have a place to go when you have those questions. When you're new to the country and you're a high school student, you don't necessarily have someone to turn to ask everyday questions about, you know, what's interesting, what's cool, how do I pronounce this? And so with Enroot, we're here to create a space where students feel seen, heard, and really to be in a place where they feel that they belong.
I mean, we're all learners. Like, even the people who are most, like, you know, at the top of their game are still learning, you know, and they still are looking to people, trying to get support or like need somebody to bounce ideas off of. Like, that's just like, I think, part of our human nature. So I think having it solidified in a mentor-mentee relationship will only make those moments richer and deeper and have more learning growth. So if it is something that everybody could benefit from, like, why aren't we doing it for everybody? Like, we're only going to get further by supporting each other.
Why do you think it's important for mentors and mentees to form a bond like that?
because if you don't get a bond like that, you get what I had in high school, which was like somebody that like cares, but like, you know, they're not really like hearing you. Like if you don't get some type of bond with your mentor, if your mentor doesn't really, you know, care about you as a person, someone who's not really an ad, but someone who's like a guide, like what a mentor should be, someone who cares about where you're going in the future and like how you're gonna like do.
It really, I would say it depends on the mentor and the student pairing. And a mentor is there to supplement the support that the school provides, the support that Enroot provides, and the students' guardians. But they are not themselves necessarily, they're not to take on the parental role, but they are there to be that supplement. And so I often think of it as another pillar that lifts up the student. And so that can come in different forms. You know, it could be just having a conversation. It could be helping reading a student's college essay. It could be just being a shoulder that a student can lean on when they're having a tough day.
No, it's never done. There's no end. I mean, as long as so I still meet with people that have been, you know, graduates of the program from like years and years past. Like as long as anybody is interested in continuing the relationship, like I'm there for it. And I'm still in touch with everybody. Actually, the person I kind of want to hook y'all up with, he is still working with the mentor that we assigned him with.
My name is Heinz Thomas Vitale. So shout out George. It's so funny. I'm cool with all the mentors there, but like, you know, George, I told him this the first day like he got assigned to me too. I was like, you're my favorite. But me and George just always been cool. Like I said, they've always been like extremely nice to me. Always like, you know, cool people to talk to. All of them, and they all listen. But George, like he like especially like listens, like, you know. But yeah, as like the program went on, like we were always like pretty cool. So
you're putting yourself out there. I think there's something about having a mentor where it does require that authenticity, that vulnerability, and it's a little uncomfortable. I think, you know, I've actually asked people to be mentors of mine, and that's worked out, but I was a little nervous at first, and so we try to make sure we remove that nervousness by pairing people together, and so I just know that it's not an easy thing, but it is very invaluable and it's really beneficial, but I think it could be a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to like put yourself out there. Like, I think it's hard to like maybe reflect and say like, oh, I need something, like I need help. You know, like I think it's hard to put yourself, like to imagine yourself being vulnerable. Like the world is tough, and like so we have to sometimes like walk in the world a little extra tough, and to ask for mentorship might mean that you have to like show a little bit of vulnerability. So I think that can be hard. And then I think sometimes there could be like fear of rejection, like, oh, this person doesn't get me, oh, this person will say no. Like, you know, it's kind of hard to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think our community, especially immigrant communities, don't know what mentoring is. And so even understanding what a mentor is very new. I think in some of the communities that I grew up, the idea of mentoring is something that nobody understands of why the importance of it is. And so Enroot really tries to enforce that it is important because they're building connections to their community.
My mentor have helped me in like a lot of things, like especially like developing myself, like my personalities and my characters, because I feel like past few days I was being so like insecure and I feel like I wasn't good enough, but she always make me feel positive and always tell me what I'm good at, and like she always tells me like positives about things about me and who I like accept myself, who I am, and like she teaches me to like love myself always.
Well, I had a dark era where I was not feeling good and I didn't really had anyone to talk to. But since I'm in Enroot, I had to come here, or like, I mean, that time it was meetings on Zoom. So I had to like go into meetings, and you know, that was like the only person I could talk to. So I feel like mentors are Kevin helped me get through a lot. When I met him, I used to not go outside a lot. I used to stay at home, do videos, play games. Didn't really do anything, not in my homework. It was just me sitting for like hours straight, like right next to my computer. And Kevin motivated me. I heard like a bunch of stuff about how he used to go outside with his friends and like how he enjoyed life. So I was like, why not try it? And so I tried it. I got into, that time it was winter, so I got into winter sports like snowboarding. I go to parks, or I do sometimes freestyle. But most of the time it's just parks. I go and, you know, I mean, he doesn't really snowboard. I don't know if he skis, but that, you know, him going outside inspired me to like try something new. So now like you're gonna see me most of the time outside rather than in my house because of Kevin.
There's not like a set plan for me for going into a relationship, especially a mentor relationship, because the hope is that I'll get to know them for a long period of time and help and see them grow into the kind of person they want to be. And I'm just there, like I'm gathering all this information as to like the kind of people they are, and I can just like help them guide, like give them another perspective into how to get where they want to be. I don't want to pressure them into like spilling out their guts to me. Right. So just be understanding. That's how I am with all relationships in my life. Just be understanding. Don't judge them. But also be open. Like for them to open up, you have to open up a little bit. Absolutely. For people searching out mentorship opportunities to be a mentor, I think you learn a lot about yourself. It kind of teaches you more responsibility. Like you have to schedule time, you have to be available to this person, you have to be able to communicate with them both important things and also just like things going on with their life. So it helps you build relationships like that. If you're looking for a mentor from the mentee's perspective, I would recommend it even more, because there's going to be a lot of problems in your life that you don't know how to get through, and a mentor will certainly help you with that.
At some point in our lives, I think things seem hard, right? It could be difficult. I think there's always that moment where you feel stuck, and sometimes that echo chamber of just your own thoughts is a bit too much. Mm-hmm. And being able to have another person to bounce ideas off of is so beneficial. And I'm not talking long-term mentoring. It really could be, this is my mentor and we've spoken to each other for 6 months, and that's been helpful for me to really move the needle forward in goal setting, or just having someone to just, talk to. So I do recommend mentoring for folks, whether it's your career, your personal life, whether it's coaching. I highly recommend it.
They're really important. Like I said, if you want to talk to an adult, or if you just want to like a friend to support you in anything they can.
Yes, definitely. I feel like if it's helped me, then I feel like it can help so many people's. Yeah.
But like you don't gotta keep a mentor. Like if they're not really helping you out, like they're probably not the best for you. But I see like when a mentor is actually there for you and actually cares and is actually actively trying to help you out with whatever, there's no harm in it. They're there to help you. It's extra help. So I say go for it.
From the interviews we gathered, it is clear to see the role which mentorship plays when it comes to planning their next steps and exploring possible learning opportunities for local Cambridge community members. It has helped shape the goals of many individuals, and with more mentorship resources, even more people will be able to be supported when looking to their futures.